Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I'm so conflicted. I'm so conflicted because first off, good morning. Those of you in the East Coast, in the name of Bernie Getz, why don't you have another? Right? I mean, every snowstorm blowing us feet after feet of flakes. Boom. Just got another one now. So we didn't get another foot, but you know how hard I worked to shovel that? I have 100-foot driveway, and my cars are parked in the back of it. I spent 3 hours shoveling, and according to my Fitbit, I burnt 1,700 calories digging it out on Monday. Ah, life as it is as an adult, huh? Anyways, that is it. I watched the State of the Union, but that's not what I want to discuss. Really, I guess I have to address it, but it's not exactly what I want to address. Let me load up a couple of things. And I apologize if this doesn't really pan out because I want to share my screen, but I'm not quite sure, given that I'm on the native YouTube platform, how it's going to go. And I'll attempt though. And if it doesn't work, I will try to read off to you as much as I can. And I should have a new software by next week. I'm just exploring a few other options. I need to make sure it's not going to, bust on me. L'chaim, everybody. Cheers. Okay. Nancy Lawrence, in response to your comment, I couldn't understand, believe, admit to myself that we live in a society where a ton of I shouldn't say a ton, where people in Washington Square Park were throwing snowballs at police officers, and it wasn't exactly a friendly snowball launching. Let's put it that way. Nancy, it was not a nice snowball fight. That it was definitely not. Nancy's comment was it a snowball fight or an attack on New York's finest? No, it was an attack. Okay. Let's get to some substance, right? We're at 8:04. Yeah, good enough. I remember I was in 6th grade, so that means it was the 6th or 7th year of W. Bush's presidency. And my teacher, Mr. Fleischer, said by Constitution, the president is required to deliver the State of the Union. So for tonight's homework, I want you to go home and watch 10 or 20 minutes and report on what the president was talking about. Ask your parents to stay up late or whatever you got to do. Just watch 10 or 20 minutes of it and report back tomorrow. I went home. I watched a lot more than 10 or 20 minutes. I didn't know what Medicaid and Medicare were, the war in Iraq, and I just kept on seeing this show. And of course, as a politically inclined child as I was, I saw decorum, and I remember it. It's not like I just watched and it went out the back door. No, I remember it. And I specifically remember one line where Bush said he would veto any bill that comes to his desk. I think that increases government spending. I think that's what he said. And I mean, there was just civility, guys, civility. For the second, now coming back to 2025 and 6, there's the calculations being done by the Democrats to either not attend or just not give Trump any credence for anything he's done is emblematic of our times, really, is the word I guess what I'm looking for. Of course, there's the famous call out line, and Mark Halpern said it perfectly. Please applaud if you think our job is to take care of American citizens before illegal immigrants. The Democrats in general did not stand. There's a point to be made saying that it was showmanship. I'm not going to stand. And I'm not going to give him his soundbite. But you already gave him his soundbite. It's so obvious. You as Congress, like I was saying the other day, you have a job. Your job is to legislate. And if you don't think you can do that job, what are you doing there? If you don't think you can authorize uses of military force or not, or pass tariffs or not, what are you doing? But if the Republicans were in the minority, I don't think they'd act any differently. Exclamation point. Sign of our times. The awards, the Medal of Freedom, the congressional medals. I mean, that was all great showmanship. And, Trump loves it. He does it. He digs it. Great. One more thing on a production note. There's been a great idea for sometimes the president to maybe have the ability to have a projector on both sides of the chamber and give a slideshow presentation on the actual State of the Union. My opinion, I think I share it with many. This president is not interested in that. This president just wants to, hey, Democrats, do you support all citizens before illegal immigrants? Okay. And the White House didn't quite do the projector job. What they did do was put on these call to action on the screen. Text this to White House for updates on something. I wonder what they're doing with that marketing data, because you know what? That marketing data is gold. And they had a huge platform to get some free marketing last night, and they did it. I'm sure it's a gray area. I'm sure they looked into it. But just like the rest of the Trump administration, I'm sure they're going to toe that line and push every boundary, as they should, within the confines of our American legal system. One more point about last night was I didn't appreciate. Well, I mean, yeah, he could go ahead, criticize the Supreme Court's decision on tariffs, no problem. That's how our process works. But greeting some justices and not others, I mean, in the end of the day, they're our justices of the Supreme Court, and you don't want to. There's a respect for our judiciary and our institutions, right? That was distasteful to me. So that's that. That's that. Robert's commenting, yes, Republicans have not clapped plenty of times and have done worse. Right? Are we forgetting Marjorie Taylor Greene in that costume? And I forget which representative yelling at Obama. And then he goes, because I won both of those elections. So, exactly. Does a sunset. Remember how Republicans treated Biden at the State of the Union? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I definitely think that Democrats not showing up is ratcheting up of the hostility and ridiculousness. Okay. Now for what I wanted to show you. Okay. You guys know that I pride myself in um, multiple and pluralistic viewpoints on a certain matter. And I look at things like Breitbart all the way to Mehdi Hassan's piece Zeteo. If you go back into my channel, I focus a lot on Mehdi because he is such a good, I guess, rhetorician. He's his way of delivering any speech, debate, presentation is great on an objective level. Intonation of voice, presentation of fact, punctuating properly. I mean, it's amazing. I agree with him on 0.01% of things, probably, but I respect his work. He started a company extremely left wing called Zeteo, and he's not ashamed of saying it. It's extremely left wing. He just believes that a true left wing publication should exist, and that's what he started. So, without further ado, let's see how I can share this with you, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're seeing this. You should be seeing an article by Zeteo. Just awaiting a comment for you here. Just give me an okay. Give me something. Perfect. Victor, thank you very much. Anderson Cooper's FU to Barry Weiss. This is a piece on how Anderson Cooper is no longer working for 60 Minutes after, I believe it's 20 somewhat years of doing so. And some people are reading into it. Anderson Cooper is taking a stand, and Barry Weiss and the Ellison brothers are getting what they deserve by corrupting the media and buying their way to power, and so on and so on and so on. But then on a much so like you see that, and you can, and it also reads this way. So you guys can look this up yourself, or I'll even send it out to you guys if you'd like. Even better yet, I'm going to put it in the description of this video. That's what I'll do. And compare it to this. I mean, guys, it's just simple Yahoo, right? MAGA coded CBS boss, but she's not MAGA. Desperate offer to departing star revealed. I mean, okay. Now this is a little more level-headed. You're going to tell me, Charles, when you go to an extreme left-wing publication, of course they want to infuriate you like that. F you to Barry Weiss. But I don't know, where would I put Yahoo Entertainment? In the center? Maybe no political agenda? Long story short, Anderson Cooper thought that he wanted more time with his family, quote unquote, and that's what he told the press. And he didn't want to devote that extra time to 60 Minutes, and he wanted to keep his CNN gig. So that's what he publicly said. Now, does Zeteo want to give off the impression of, yeah, he said F you, he's standing up to the MAGA people who are trying to corrupt the whole media, yada, yada, yada. You know, I don't know. But there's no reason for this. There's no reason for this. The only reason for this is to infuriate people and to get more clicks. And there's something about news about the news. It's so weird to think like it's newsworthy that Brian Stelter is leaving a certain network, or Jeff Zucker is out at CNN. I mean, that's a little more newsworthy, I guess. But or Mehdi Hassan is leaving MSNBC. You know, it's news about the news was always weird to me. But yeah, that's my take. That's my take on a story like this that's been circulating over the past week or so. I do know a lot of you are interested in my general take on Barry Weiss. I have no problem delivering it. I think she's an intelligent and somewhat nuanced individual. Do I like what she's doing at CBS? I don't know yet. There was that withholding of the ICE story, and I believe there was withholding of the ICE story, and then there was the Colbert incident, which I misspoke, by the way. Last week I said Jimmy Kimmel. The Colbert the Colbert equal time kind of thing. I mean, that's regular to me. Is that corrupting the whole media and journalistic standards? I don't think so, because I believe the ICE piece ran in the end. Although it made it to YouTube, it ran on CBS unedited. I'm not sure what the explanation was as to why, but it did. Any questions on Barry West, let me know. I know particularly, I think Suane had an issue. Second piece that I want to focus on. Hegseth threatens to force AI firm to share tech, escalating the Anthropic standoff, and further threatens to, here you go, to invoke, I think, the Defense Powers Act, or I forget the exact name of the act. Defense Production Act? It's escaping me. But this Washington Post piece scares the pants off of me, because right now, Anthropic is killing it in the AI game. I use AI more than every minute of day. Right now, there's a bot out there, and it's actually, my machinery is coming tomorrow. It's really cool. For those of you who don't know, I'm really into tech, so I've loved it since I was a kid. And there's this bot that's taking the AI world by storm, and it's really, really, really ahead of, like, this is on the cutting edge of AI. There's a bot, you install it on a machine of your own, it runs 24 hours a day. And instead of AI, like we're used to on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, reading back to you, providing you with information, this actually does for you. There is software and AI that do things for you. That's of course, but this is a different level of connectivity. You're getting your AI, your own machine, and it connects via Telegram, WhatsApp, I think iMessage, Signal, and you can name it, "Hey, Chris." I will now refer to you as Chris, my personal assistant. Log into the Washington Post and prepare a slide where I can show that article on my YouTube morning stream. Great. My wife tells me that she got an email regarding a Apple settlement last week. Is it a real thing? Chris, I need you to look it up and see if the settlement is real. Here's the email, which contains the case, the litigants, the case ID under federal court, and so on and so on and so on. Go look it up. Tell me if it's legit. Let me know once you're ready. And it comes back. It emails the both of us. Truly replacing plenty of humans. And you can run multiple agents on the same machine. All of that, Anthropic's Claude is in the forefront of. So it particularly looks at me, I'm thinking, Hegseth is going for Anthropic because right now, and all this is unfolding over the past 2.5 weeks, Hegseth is going for the number one person in the most powerful and sustaining field in the American economy, and then threatening to take it using government force. Is that free market, Mr. Secretary? That's ludicrous. That's what it is. It's ludicrous. Share your technology or else we're taking it. That is not America. That is not America. You want it, you buy it. You don't have money, it's an issue. We're not communist Russia. That's my general take on this. Now, Hegseth better get himself in order. Anthropic is negotiating with the Defense Department, and this is not to take away from the fact. Let me at least get rid of this article so I'll get back into full screen here. Now, I don't want to take away from the fact there's plenty of collaboration with OpenAI. Didn't they? Microsoft and OpenAI were going back and forth with the Defense Department, I think 2 years ago, 18 months ago, signing a huge cooperation contract with them. OpenAI is not that far behind Claude or behind Anthropic. And of course, there are other competing companies for the government's business. But I mean, it's not like the government has nothing. The government deserves the best. I agree. But we don't say to a private company, give it to us or else we'll take it. That's un-American. That's un-American. So there's my take. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the comments. So there's my take, my two pieces that I wanted to opine on, plus the State of the Union, which was, I guess regular, right? I'm not State of the Union. Here's a hypothetical question. Will I tell my children to watch the State of the Union as it currently is? Nah. I don't think it has educational value at the moment. I think it did. Under Bush, Obama. True. But right now, I honestly, I don't think there's any educational value to it. There's a hypothetical. You guys let me know what you think, huh? Okay, Harvey, good morning. Have a great day, everyone. I'm going out to drive on our clear roads. Where are you, Harvey? I thought you were in Jersey. We dodged the bullet when the storm went a little further east than predicted. So you didn't get anything? Victor Perkins, good morning. Coffee teacups. I actually have both today. I have a teacup to go. Be safe. Antique X-ray, the East Coast is getting the storms we usually get in Minnesota. Yeah. I don't appreciate it. You can have him back. Jamal, make it a great day. Stay safe. Hug the loved ones. Absolutely. And amen. Back to you. Robert, the military person who's given an award for his role in getting Maduro seemed very uncomfortable being there, let alone getting that medal. I don't think so. I think the discomfort really comes from the I guess the attention. He Trump really spoke him up, saying he was gushing blood, four bullets to the leg, and still needed the leg to fly the helicopter, and he did it anyway, and so on and so on. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was out of humility. He maybe didn't look too happy about it or traumatic. Either way. Sean Nichols, a blanket good morning, good evening, and afternoon. That is correct. Oh, you're still without cable and internet as a result, appearing via my phone this morning. Sean, all the best, man. Where are you located? And I guess it's related to the northeast storms here. And Desert Sunset, I shoveled through 2 winters with 50 feet of snow. Little sympathy. You're right. You're right. You should have little sympathy. All right. Tammy Weiss is about to revamp 60 Minutes. Just reading that this morning. Let's see what the revamp is. Again, revamp doesn't mean bad. Revamp means changes. So let's see. Robert, it can be both at the same time, taking stand plus just sticking with CNN. Yeah, I guess you're referring to the Anderson Cooper debacle. It could be both. But why does Zeteo have to report that it's an FU? And then why does Yahoo report, or headline is a better word, MAGA coded CBS boss, like I said, and I don't think that's true, desperate offer to departing star revealed. I mean, report the news, right? But We don't live in those kinds of times right now. Desert Sunset. Weiss withheld the Anderson story, as far as I remember. I don't know which was Anderson the Ice story. Let me know. Couldn't the bot clean my house? I need Rosie from the Jetsons. Well, I only know that the Jetsons was a thing. I don't know what the Jetsons are in particular, but I knew it was a thing. There are plenty of bots that could clean your house. Right now, I have the Shark, and there's the iRobot, and there's, I think, Roomba went out of business, or iRobot, one of them. I don't know, but I have one. I have one at work. I don't want to spend money on a janitor or maintenance or whatever it is. So we got one of those. Yeah, Tammy, 60 Minutes will face more changes, and we have to just wait and see. Yes, we do. Tammy, tell the kids to go see some good theater. Well, you know what? I don't know how much longer the theater has left, put it that way. And I mean the movie theater. The theater, I don't know. Kate Cupcakes, Kelly. Hey, peeps from somewhere over the South Pacific. 4 more hours before we land. I am so glad you're joining. Thank you for joining, and I hope I'm making the flight somewhat more bearable. Thank you so much for your engagement. Victor, we made it to 18. Have a safe, great day. Yes, we did. Lots of fun. Open the door for someone. Love it. We got no snow in Ontario this past week, except for the State of the Union last night, DJT. Okay. Our friends up north. Bob, I am... there was a great meme of Canadians and Americans eating milk and cereal or something like that. And the American was eating with a gold spoon. No, the Canadian was eating with a gold spoon. The American took the gold spoon out of the Canadian's hand and says, "No, here's the silver spoon." it was something. But hey, we're friends, right? Macaroni, yes. I have an upright vacuum, but 3 cats, so basically nothing works. That is correct. I'm not a cat person, but I know plenty about those cat households. I saw Hamilton White earlier. I don't know where he is in the comments section. I have a friend in New Zealand. Perhaps you should stop by and see Richard. That is Sean Nichols. Okay, let's add it to my list. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 29. Thank you so much for watching, enjoying. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I will put the articles in the description the second the stream ends, and I will see you Friday. Stream is already set up. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter below, where you'll get a link directly to the next stream. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody. Make this day the best it is, because you only have one chance to live it.